Hey, this is Tim Pierce. I gave myself a challenge. How many things can I think of just right off the top of my head that I sometimes forget about that could make my soloing better and perhaps make anyone's soloing better and more musical? So I came up with 7 off the top of my head and tried to do a little musical example for each one. Click the link below if you want to check out the Masterclass. For me, I like to have a tone where there's sustain and distortion, but I can still hear the note. There's nothing wrong with that total gained out sound where all you hear is thick distortion, but I like to hear some note in there. So I'll sometimes choose the middle pickup, turn it up to get more gain, treble pickup, bass pickup. So you can still hear the note in there in places. Right now I have the revival drive on. And then I kick this in too. I get even more gain. Let's try a third one. Now the note starts to disappear, and that's a little far for me. I like to still hear a little of the note. So get a good tone. I had to force myself to leave spaces. Nothing, as a guitar player, I want to play constantly. But if you make it like a conversation where you're speaking and then pausing, it's so much more musical. You know, leave spaces. So when you play a phrase, find a chord tone to land on, and land on it with authority if you can. Just, no matter what's going on or how crazy you've gotten, land on a 1, or a 5, or a flat 3, or a major 3, if that's the chord. Whatever chord you're playing, land on a chord tone when you finish the phrase. Pretty simple. So that's a situation where I'm not ending on chord tones, although I am. I'm ending on the odd tone, and then I resolve to the chord tone. So you could just end on a 6th, but a lot of the time I'll just hang there for a second and create the tension and then release by dropping down to a chord tone. So you use a color tone like a 9th, land on the 1, use a 4th, land on the 3 or the 1, use a 6th, drop down to the 5, etc., etc. So it's tension and release. So while you're soloing, don't forget to add rhythm. With this cranked up sound, sounds pretty good to do like a or you can even take a solo phrase, play it like a rhythm player. So don't forget to add some rhythmy solos to your solos. So anytime I'm playing slow, I think, okay, what's the opposite? How can I freshen up this solo? And I play a fast riff. And then I played the fast riff, hopefully not too long, play slow. So I like to bounce through those extremes, and it keeps it interesting, and these bursts of speed, even though my speed is like not nearly as fast as most of the speedsters out there, I like to do the opposite. Go fast, go slow, go fast, go slow. And those extremes, I think, keep the solo interesting and kind of unexpected. So what that is me playing 8 bars, trying to peak during that 8 bars and be done. Could have been 16 bars, but I like short solos. I listened to records all my life that had 8-bar solos, like Steely Dan, even a lot of the songs in the 60s. It was always kind of my favorite thing. So my point is here, you don't have to keep playing forever. You can say it in 8 bars or 16 bars, and that's plenty till the next song. And that's just simple picking dynamics. There's so much of a range you can get from picking soft to picking loud, and the way it triggers your distortion, your overdrive. I use that all the time, and it makes your solo interesting to be loud and soft, and it kind of explodes, and then it comes back to a sensitive place, and then an explosive place. Play with it. What that is using chord shapes. Remember, there's little chord fragments everywhere, and they happen to be playing C to D to D to E. So I was sticking to the chord shapes. Then to D, then up to E, and then over to C, to D, and to E. And if you throw those in against your other work, which is like bluesy stuff, and simple melodies, it's a new element.